Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to another scene set in uh Vampire the Masquerade, a Chronicle of Sales at Midnight.
Yeah.
A chronicle set within the golden age of piracy in the glorious Caribbean. Tonight, we set our scene with an Elysium, perhaps for some. Lucaria and Mary are situated just outside of it for now. In fact, they are waiting. Lucaria has planted her small and elegant little feet just outside the boundaries of Elysium, having come to the Elysium early, waiting for the one she is to speak with. Of course, with her child, who she has been feeding, given her current dilapidated state, in order to help her recover her sight. And yes, Mary, that means you do get my points in her to heal another point of act damage.
Yay.
Is your sign not the loveliest?
She is.
Yes.
She's amazing.
Ah, yes, please stroke my ego more. I needs it. Uh, the elder always needs more ego head pats.
Mm-hmm.
Dear Lord.
Sorry, gutter brain.
But yes. Massaria is simply waiting outside of the Elysium.
You could see Mary's kind of fidgety right now. She's kind of pacing back and forth a little bit.
Yes. They do. It is perhaps oddly conspicuous.
But she, I guess you can kind of see, like, because you can distinguish things now. So, she's gonna, I guess what she's gonna do is she's gonna come sit down next to Massaria, and she kind of like flicks a fan out, and it's almost like she's got ADHD, like she's very fidgety and she can't sit still right now. So
All right, Lucea would be she would arrive slightly later, I would assume. And be walking up to the gates of the Elysium. Lady Macaria, how fare you this evening?
She actually considers this as if giving it serious thought. I feel as if I am in rough waters.
John will make his way over as because he sees a crowd. That's exciting.
Yeah, they're just at the gates of Elysium engaging in casual
I feel
conversation.
many of us. Oh, sorry.
What's yeah. There is much that has occurred. Unusually far from my sight. Something that concerns me. Although I'm impressed you managed to make it so far. She stares at you intently, and what is the name of your character channel?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
The name of my character, Lucea Harkon.
Your character channel is designated by your
Oh, Red Cap.
Discord
Sorry.
user. Yeah, no, it's not your fault. It's ours. I blame Evan. Let's blame Evan for everything. Okay.
He gets that designation because he chose head ST as his title.
Excuse me, Mother. Perhaps we should have this conversation indoors. I don't believe the streets are safe at this point in time.
John looks around. Did I miss? I must have missed something.
So you can, despite the gift that I'm using, you can see that Mary's eyes have been mutilated, essentially. It's pretty obvious that her eyes are not in the best condition right now.
He looks pretty severely aggravated when he sees this. And it's like, yeah, so perhaps we should go inside.
Yeah,
her eyes are mostly healed at this point, if I recall.
And he'll bow ascension to Massaria though, because of course you are the elder here.
I mean, it does say on your overlay that you're an elder.
I understand that. They won't let me not do that. It is. I have the alternate identity. People just aren't allowed to metagame it. I am a neonate.
Okay. But Mary will walk into the Elysium and promptly go and fix herself a drink.
And she can see right now, right?
For the gift. She can kind of see. She can't like fully see everything clearly, but she can.
She can make out shapes. She has a loose sense of sight now, so.
John will put his arm out for Lucea when they walk in, just to be her escort, because she's awesome.
Sure. Take his arm and walk in with him.
I think he might be super cold, if I recall, but yeah.
She has a cold wind blowing around her. So.
Oh, that works. We're cold together.
We're cold as ice.
Massaria's gaze lingers on Lucea for much more longer than is comfortable. It is quite unblinking until her gaze shifts to John.
Yes.
You have an odd sense of timing, John.
Seems to be a gift. Or a curse. I always seem to be right where I need to be when it's the time to be there.
You know, that statement may have far more meaning to me than it may for you.
I wouldn't be shocked. He kind of nods.
Would you?
Well, the wisdom of your clan is very well known. That you can, your intuitions and your foresights are something to be appreciated and valued. I hope me being here isn't a problem. If you'd like me to leave, I will of course do so.
It should not be. Although, again, kind of like Lucea, her gaze lingers on you for an uncomfortably long period of time. It's almost as if she's weighing something up in her mind.
Just a reminder, one of the key things about John is he is not on humanity. So he moves very mechanically.
What class is he on? I wonder.
We're gonna find out. Sorry, looks at you and says, "You are young, yet you are very, if I may be so bold, you seem to lack the vibrancy of a younger kin."
Actually, give me a second. I might be an idiot. Nope, I'm not an idiot. I did take that stuff off. Good. You are correct. My sire thought it would be more prudent for me to be able to focus better on studies by weaning away things that needn't be there. So
What
over
do
my
you mean? It is, if it is what you portray it to be, it would be distinctly unusual in our society.
just because I'm young doesn't mean I wasn't born a long time ago. There was a war, and I was put to sleep for a very long time. When I was embraced, most of our kind walked different paths. Or roads would be the wording.
She weighs up that statement very carefully.
Mhm.
She's not entirely sure whether she should believe that statement.
I'd like to see if he's lying about anything.
Just let me know if you use powers on Elysium.
Nope.
Yep.
I'm not using any powers. Simply trying to weigh whether or not he's telling the truth or not.
Basically a mundane roll.
I
I will not have Masaria make her roll. She is just that is something that does come across as unusual to her. It's not unheard of, but it is
Tremere weird.
that they are a young clan.
Would you what role would you say that is, Bishop?
Something empathy.
It would be perception, empathy, and John, if you're trying to hide your intent, it would be manipulation, subterfuge.
Right. Would fine details be applicable here, do you think?
I
have my perception set up for telling if someone's lying, and I have discerning as my specialty.
Well, you'd use manipulation plus
No,
subterfuge.
I know. I have persuasion as my specialty there, so I know for a fact it comes into play because I'm a liar.
Yeah, that should definitely come into play for this. I'm not sure if fine details would apply because you haven't really been given much of a description. You've been given more of an overview.
Okay, so did we get willpower back the next night or no?
I believe so.
Okay, so since it's a talent, I don't have anything in empathy, so I'm just gonna go ahead and roll 4 dice. Or I'm gonna burn a willpower. What would you say the difficulty on this would be? Just standard diff?
It's a contested roll, so it's standard diff, I think.
I rolled in Scene Roller 1, just to let you know.
Yeah.
2 successes.
Yeah, I think John is fine.
Hmm?
I think John got 4, didn't he?
I did.
Yeah.
4 nines.
Okay.
Wow. Impressive. Yeah, he seems fairly genuine in his statement.
Okay.
Masaria doesn't seem to press the issue for what it's worth.
Oh.
Did Marsaria walk in with? Did Marsaria get up to walk in yet? Because are we inside now?
Yes, we'll be heading
Okay.
into that now.
All right. I just wanted to make sure because I felt like Mary went in and nobody else did. I'm like, wait, what happened? All right. John will look around for a somewhat comfy place where we could sit down and have a conversation and kind of say, again, I'm not intending to disturb you, so if you guys had a prior meeting, please let me know and I will wander off.
It's quite alright. This was a pre-arranged meeting, but you are welcome, in fact. It concerns matters of importance that I believe you have not been informed of, given the manner in which you have spoken this evening, and it would be good for you to know.
No, the most concerning matter that I had heard and had involved the person who made his apologies and was allowed to wander off.
Yes, he is indebted. Far less than he deserves, but it is perhaps better this way. Better
So
that we do not entangle ourselves.
So did somebody attack you? He'll look straight at Marseille. Massaria.
The faded, yes, it is why she is indebted to me.
No, I mean that your childer's eyes are damaged. Did somebody attack?
Yes.
Because by attacking her, they attacked you as well.
Yes, my poor child.
Are you okay? He'll look at Mary.
I have felt significantly better.
Well, I'm very sorry that this happened. Do you need help in any sort of matter involving this?
If you know any way that I can heal my eyes quicker, I would be much obliged.
Oh, goodness gracious. Let me look at book. I'm pretty sure I have that power.
Accept such help.
I have to look things up, though. Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm not tabletop savvy. I'm 98% positive, like my level 2 power allows me to help people heal.
There is a ritual for it where you can create a paste which makes healing wounds less costly.
I thought that was only for yourself.
The one I'm thinking of, like just the level 2 blood power, I think you can touch people and then heal them.
No, you can force them to heal, but it doesn't make it more efficient. There is a ritual, however, which allows you to create a paste. I'll just double check to see if it's only for oneself.
I don't have the ritual anyway, so it's all good.
I think you're thinking of Recur of the Homeland, and yeah, you have to have dirt from your place that you were born and make a paste out of it.
That sounds so Samisi-like.
I mean, Jamisi bloodline.
Oh, I mean, that's cool.
Vampire calls on the power of the earth to heal grave wounds she may receive. The thaumaturge, she must use at least a handful of dirt from the city or town of her mortal birth and recite a litany of her mortal family tree as she casts this ritual.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just gonna double check.
This ritual can only be used on the vampire who knows it.
Sorry, I'm down to quietus. The book I have throws everything at the end of it.
But yes, for one that caused such grievous injuries to my child, Masara will be seated very closely to Rosemary, with a hand placed upon her at all times. Would you be an agent of the Inquisition?
Oh. Specifically a Knight of Leopold.
Yes.
Oh.
The remnants of what we now call the Burning Times.
Yeah.
Despite their mortal frailty, they remain dangerous to us. I was surprised to hear that one had placed themselves out in the open in the middle of the night. Even more surprised to hear that they did not meet their end. That is neither here nor there. What is important is that we now know, and that thus knowing allows us to retaliate and reorganize.
That is true. It's
What
always
was-
wise to let your enemy play their hand first.
Yes, one of the Inquisition's greatest strengths was that, as a victim of it, we were not entirely aware what was happening as it unfolded. Not until many had already met the final death. I am glad such a fate did not befall my child.
I am also glad. I'm super sorry that that happened to you.
I did what I could, Lady Macaria.
Would you mind retelling me what occurred and who was present? I am aware that many kindred were present, and this is in part what caused this particular injury. She looks quite stern when she says that. The smile fades from her face briefly. She seems to. There is definitely an undercurrent of tension, maybe even anger there. But it quickly. The smile quickly reasserts itself.
There was a gathering in the town square of a preacher spouting, well, what I would suppose is the usual rhetoric for the Society of Leopold. A number of kindred, as well as kine, had gathered to watch the spectacle. It was then that he began speaking directly towards kindred in the crowd. There was an attempt to sway the crowd, and debate going back and forth with what seemed to be an old woman kindred and this priest. At some point, a few kindred had wound up in the crowd close to the priest, Mary being one of them, and had attempted to dissuade this preacher from perhaps hunting here and perhaps going elsewhere. I think Mary tried to convince him to go to Havana, at which point he burned out her eyes, and the crowd began to whip into a frenzy.
Is there's like a Mary will kind of like dig her hand and her nails and her fingers into the arm of whatever chair she's sitting on, and she kind of seems rather flustered, almost verging on anger.
In order to prevent further harm to any one of us, I went into the crowd with a number of other kindred. I think I do not remember their names, but none that I recognize from our sect. Duncan Garfield was there, Captain Duncan Garfield. He tried to perhaps distract the crowd. I being one of the ones who grabbed poor Mary here and tried to get her to safety, which the safest place I could think of at the moment was my ship, the Ocularum. I took her there and I let her feed from my first mate, who is kind, at least to help her heal somewhat, and then we waited for your arrival. There was a madman causing trouble on the docks. I don't know what he was doing, singing loudly, which hurt Mary's ears, so
He was
we ran him away. I don't know if
singing.
he was...
He mentioned something about a moon goddess.
Yes. I perceived that one as I approached. I can only imagine. Well, I don't imagine. I know them to be one of the more demented and broken members of our clan.
But yes,
Naturally,
there was significant danger with the priest in the crowd.
What did the priest do upon attacking my child? And
He
how did
began
the
to
crowd
turn back
respond?
to the crowd and speaking to them.
Hmm.
And they seemed to be growing more agitated.
But they did not assault you?
No, I dominated one of the men in the crowd to assist me in carrying Mary. And we ran. They did not give chase, it seems, though.
And how many kindred were present that observed? I have heard there was more than a dozen.
I can only attest to the kindred that I know of. There were 2 in the crowd, one of which came to my ship with me. There were at least 3 others, I believe, that were in the part of the group that I was observing with. There was the old woman who smelt of the grave, and she was speaking directly to the preacher. And there was Duncan Garfield apparently trying to sway the crowd away from the preacher. I'd actually have to look at who was next to me in the crowd. Crap, what was that in Town Square?
Yes. Hang on. There was. Let's see. I'm pulling it up. There was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 myself.
I think it was Arthur Mason was one of the others there, and then Jacques was there. But I think specifically who Lucea was with was just Margot, Jacques, or Margot, Arthur, and Duncan.
Yeah.
And Mary.
There was like 10 or 11, 12. There were like 11 or 12 different kindred. Okay. Suffice it to say, there were quite a few.
But that is my recollection of events, Lady Macaria.
I see. I've already discussed it with I've already discussed this with the Seneschal. I'm not entirely sure if it has been announced or if it is simply being passed along through less official channels, but it is very heavily recommended that the kindred of the Camarilla do not gather in such public places in the near future, for the near future. For the safety of the masquerade.
That is wise.
I would like to commend you, however, for assisting my child. You put yourself at risk to aid them. Even applying your kindred abilities in order to ensure that she would escape safely from the one that assaulted her.
Yes.
For this service you are owed a boon.
Not to be rude, but yes, I intended to ask you.
What kind of boon would you have asked for, I'm curious?
Well, seeing as there was a danger to myself and any other kindred present, seeing as I am currently without the assistance of my first mate and my ghoul, and that I had to use my powers to help her, and that, well, if any were present that perhaps meant ill harm, which may have followed, my ship is now, well, compromised. I would ask for perhaps a major, at the least, as this has taken significant detriments to my own operations. With all respect, Lady Macaria.
Oh no, of course. I was about to commend you. You are very self-aware. Perhaps I should say you're very skilled at assessing the value of your own actions. Normally, my child would owe you this boon, and she does. However, she is currently under the accounting,
She nods her head.
which means I must take on her debts on her behalf. As until such a time of her release. Is this acceptable to you?
If you would accept it, Lady Makari, I would ask a major boon.
Then it shall be granted. Rosemary Sombra, my child, owes you a major boon. But until she is released, all debts collected and owed are the responsibility of myself. I will register this with the Master of Harpies,
Thank you, lady.
so that the court knows. I'm curious to see what you intend to retrieve from this debt. It is a interesting. It is an interesting state your boon lies in. It is one of the very few times a boon's value may be more time sensitive than it otherwise would be.
I understand.
Pardon?
I understand.
But feel free to call it in whenever you wish. And again, thank you for aiding my child. It is much appreciated.
It is an
Particularly
honor.
the lengths you went to. I will make a peony on that to see if she does perceive it as an honor or as something that she cares about.
Are you just aura reading her?
Specialty. I'm just making a mundane perception empathy check, so I don't get her aura. It's just kind of reading her body language to see whether she seems to care about this or whether she does, if she is being genuine.
I mean, she definitely cares about getting the boon, but it's more of politeness and ass kissing.
Masara would be insulted, but she's so used to this that she doesn't really care. This is sort of the other life. People say yes to you even when they don't want to.
Can I try a perception to see that?
Yeah, sure. She's not really... She rarely hides what she is feeling. So, yeah, she does not contest your role.
So is it just perception? I guess awareness, maybe? Or empathy?
I would say empathy. Yeah.
It would be empathy, yeah. Awareness is more of a supernatural... It's your ability to perceive supernatural phenomena, which this wouldn't be. It's literally just a person's
Right.
feeling.
Two successes.
Are you trying to hide it? That you're trying to figure out.
No,
what she's
no. As I
doing?
said, she doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't contest. You. You would see that she seems to be reading you fairly carefully, and would seem to have something of a pretty strong impression of you.
All right. So, yeah, just noticing her not particularly liking the ass kissing, just kind of clear her throat and look down.
John, through this whole time, John's kind of found a comfy chair that he was sitting by near you all and has his legs like kicked over the side of it. He's playing with his hat. Kind of paying attention, but not really.
So Mary's actually gonna get up and she's gonna say, "May I?" And she kind of gestures towards the hat.
It's like, I'm not a captain. I'm not like them. You can more to welcome, Mary.
She's gonna put the hat on her head.
It's an amazing hat.
It looks fantastic on her.
Roll
I'm
the
sure it
earth.
does.
Yeah.
You look delightful, dear. Lucaria will turn to Lucea real quick, and she will actually she will place a hand on her shoulder and will say, "I apologize if I'm making you feel uneasy. It is not my intention. Although I find I often have that effect on people."
Mary giggles.
No, it is not, lady. I respect your abilities. I just... Perhaps I've said too much.
I was a neonate once too, my dear. I understand. She winks at you. Rather knowingly.
She's going to put the hat back on John's head.
He adjusts his mask so that it fits properly.
You know, Lucia, I quite like you. There is an odd sense of honesty about you.
No pirates live for me.
Thank you. I do not know what else to say, but thank you.
Sometimes that is all that needs to be said.
That is what I was taught a long time ago, Lucia. If someone gives you a compliment, just say thank you.
Yes, our kind is quite adept at finding many ways to say something that could be summed up in naught but a few words.
Or no words at all.
Yes. The Toreador makes something of an art of it. My clan, something of a hash of it.
Well, I do sometimes feel as though our words carry more weight than those of the Clan of the Rose.
Well, it depends entirely on the words and what we
You
are
can
trying
tell
to
even
say.
behind the mask that John's eyebrows kind of rise at that a little bit. He's watching.
Let the bull in. let the bull in, please.
Oh, double.
Lucia would have smiled at that statement, though. It's like a slight smile.
It is often we are saying the most and we are saying the least. That applies to many of us, but particularly my clan. We say the least when we are saying the most, and saying the most when we are saying the least. I believe I broached this topic at the dinner, actually.
The dinner? You didn't tell me there was a dinner.
You did, lady. I do remember.
Yes.
You were all amazed when a dubwool walks through your parlor. He says meh and then leaves.
I throw a quick ball at it.
I need to befriend that creature.
Where we at, Bishop?
at the Elysium, Lucia and Massaria are sort of just discussing things in a very polite fashion with John and Rosemary. And Lucia and Massaria have also recently agreed on a major boon that Rosemary shall owe Lucia for the services she performed to aid her. Although obviously, because she's under the accounting, Massaria owes it for the time being, or is responsible for it,
Oh
and
boy.
hence effectively owes it. Massaria has said she will inform the Master of Harpies, so now's a great time to
Oh no.
go away.
Oh no.
Oh dear
People
lord.
wanted to speak to him.
Oh dear lord.
You brought this on yourselves.
I didn't. They did.
Can I just go cry in a
Let me-
corner now?
let me
Really?
watch.
I mean, I think
Oh.
I want Rosemary to meet Ishar. Let's do this. Let's do
Oh
this.
my
Let's
god, do you want to
let's
stop?
let's fucking do
Stop.
it. Bring him
Stop.
in. No,
Stop.
make
Stop
me.
talking. I can't. I literally can't.
I really wanted. I'm trying to dive through the microphone right now just to tackle little baby Yoda and be like, no, drink chocolate milk and swoosh.
Both of the doors of the Elysium swing open with authority, but not a hand touches them.
Trying to look in the direction of the doors.
Look, I'm a rugby tackle you if you keep this up.
You will see a figure enter. He has he's dressed in a black robe that swirls around his rather thin, almost skeletal form. The hood is up over the head. And no, somebody has asked me this question. Ishar never had eyebrows. Fight me. But the figure of... Huh?
I just realized that.
You just realized Ishar doesn't have eyebrows. Well done.
Yeah.
The figure enters slowly into the room. By the way, Massaria, this is the first time you've properly met Ishar. Would you like to cold read him?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Oh, son.
What do you want to ask?
Spend free will power. Oof.
Big oof.
It's fine. I more or less hit max today, so we're back to we're back to 5. First question I will ask is, what does he intend to accomplish within the Caribbean? What is his main goal here? Basically?
He is searching for something.
Okay. What is he searching for?
A doorway.
Oh, I wish I spent 4.
Well, he just came through one.
Oh, I want to spend another willpower now.
You can if you want.
Yeah, okay. What's his... Okay, and third question, what is his darkest secret?
I'm refunding you the willpower.
Okay. The power of Aisha is nope. What is his greatest regret?
He doesn't have the ability anymore to feel regret.
Okay.
Or sorrow.
fourth willpower point. Is there anything left that he truly cares about?
Okay, I'm going to ask a weird question. Define cares about.
Something that they care about in a sense other than simple selfishness. Something that might resemble any sense of goodness or altruism.
So maybe something they're sentimental about.
Not anymore. There
Okay.
was something once, but it's gone. No, actually, yes, there is. And you sense that's what he's searching for.
Okay.
He is accompanied by a woman who is dressed in much more militant attire than he is. She's wearing light yet heavily embossed, almost conquistadoric style armor. She follows him along, trailing behind him, as he makes his way towards the gathering, and will say, "Oh, yeah, Luca, that's your name."
I bow my head and I do not dare correct him.
For the record, as Bishop will tell you, Aisha had a thing of mispronouncing people's names
Yes.
just because he didn't care enough to actually commit them to memory.
Yeah, she just bowed her head, my lord.
My. Such a beautiful flower. He moves once again. The cloak almost does the very Voldemort thing of it. Almost looks like it's shadow that clings to him as opposed to fabric. But he walks to Rosemary and he takes her hand in his.
I have a gift for this. Hold on. Donk. There you go. I have a gift for this. She'll let him take her hand.
He will kiss the index finger of her left hand.
Very particular.
Lovely.
A pleasure. I don't believe we've met before.
No, however, you spoke quite beautifully in this court on the matter of the weirdling child.
I did not happen to see you there.
That's because I wasn't here. My aide, in the form of Hadrian, informed me of how well you had spoken and acquitted yourself. For someone so new to the blood, she does you credit, my lady.
I appreciate your compliment. Forgive me, but what is your name?
Surely one of you here will introduce me.
My child, this is Lord Aisha, and please correct me if I'm mistaken, but you are a Pontifex of Clan Tremere.
Quite correct. I have many names, my dear Miss Swanborough. Aisha the Black, Aisha the first and last born son. There are many names. But then again, as I'm sure your mother could tell you quite eloquently, names have this wonderful power. Wouldn't you agree?
And it is a pleasure to meet someone of your prestige.
His eyes flick to Lucea for a moment before he says, "You now hold a major boon from Miss Swanborough, if I'm not mistaken."
Yes, Lord. We've just agreed upon.
You will trade it to me for a minor boon from myself.
Yes, Lord.
Wonderful. And Miss Macaria, I see things as well. There is something in the auction that I think you and I both know will be there. You will not be bidding.
This is the look that Rosemary kind of gives him. Like she is looking rather intensely at him.
And this will square our debt, yes?
So soft, so young, almost as if she was still alive. You see the hand cup Miss Swanborough's face. Oh, for the record, Bishop, was the debt to you or to her?
The debt was to her, but she's under the accounting, so I'm responsible for her debts until she is released, unless that is not the interpretation of this court.
It is. I just wanted to
Okay.
clarify. He will say, yes. You will not bid and you will not aid any others in the bidding, and I will consider the boon to be cancelled.
Then so it shall be.
Bishop, did you listen? Did you listen to the very specific wording of what he just said?
Actually, okay, wait, what is he saying?
He said, "You will not bid and you will not aid any others in bidding."
Yeah, so...
He didn't
Not
specify on a given item.
He did specify an item prior to that.
He did, but the actual wording of the deal was different to what he'd said.
Okay, so is he trying to pull a Darth Vader? I've altered the deal prior to alter.
You don't know. It could be. It could be his intention. He could be trying to fuck you on the wording.
Yeah, then I will simply clarify with him the item you have a particular interest in, or the auction in general. I believe there are several days. My apologies.
There will be, as I think you both know, as I think you are well aware, he will raise one of. He opens the fold of the rope, and you will see 3 gold coins that currently hang on a chain around his neck. And he will say, "The 4th of these will be placed for auction. I intend to buy it. You will not interfere."
I shall not interfere with your purchase of that particular item. No. It is... I believe it is something I would have trouble matching you on to begin with.
You and I both know that fate is not exactly a river, more so it is many streams. I have merely dammed one of the streams before it may see its way through to fruition.
Which stream is that?
He smiled. One where I am forced to actively take progressive and proactive action.
Well, I dare say that we would not want that. No good for you.
No.
Personally... Yes, a straight and narrow river. Although I would not consider the future a river or a number of streams to carry oneself more than it is an ocean in which one drowns, unless they are, as you say, prepared.
How very well put. How very well put indeed. Now then.
Is he still touching Rosemary's face?
Yes.
I don't think there's anything I can do necessarily with heightened senses. Actually, I'd like to do heightened senses touch, if I
Remember,
can.
you're on Elysium.
I mean, for how many disciplines have you rolled in this Elysium?
I haven't actually rolled any in this Elysium, have I?
I mean, it's also Auspex is very subtle in the way that you can activate heightened senses and be. Actually, no. What I want to do is activate heightened senses smell. I'm wanting to smell for any blood, particularly fresh blood.
From
Specific-
Aishar.
From Aishar, yes.
Roll me a
If I can, I'd like to figure out where it is on his body.
roll me a perception alertness roll, difficulty 8 minus your aspects.
Would find details specialty come into play here.
Yes.
Okay, so it's 5 dice. No, 6 dice. Minus my level of Auspex from the difficulty, or what's the difficulty?
Difficulty 8 minus your aspects level.
All right, so that's 60, 10. Hold on, sorry, I'm so not used to this dice roller anymore. I'd like to burn a willpower, please.
Okay.
I have 5 successes.
It depends on the power. Some of them are nearly impossible. Sorry, I'm just reading the side chat. Some of them are nearly impossible to tell if they're used. Most of all specs, for example. But yeah, in general, it's perception awareness if the power could be detected.
And if it's a fine details specialty, that makes it 6 successes because there's a 10 in there.
He doesn't. There's
2 10s in there, so it'd make it 7 successes.
there's no blood that you can smell from him. However, there is a smell of lavender that coats his skin. But the lavender appears to be covering up another smell. Something much more chemical.
Okay. Chemical how? Can I is it maybe sulfur or something else?
If you had to guess, it was sulfur.
Interesting. Rosemary will say, does he have when you say that the is it like an oil perfume perhaps?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he probably placed it on his wrists, maybe?
You'd assume he probably bathed with it.
So what she does is she inhales and then she exhales and she says, lavender. One of my favorites.
For the Tremere, that makes perfect sense considering the entrance, the egress and egress to the Tremere Chantry in Brain, in Port Royal, is via an alchemist shop off the main square. But they don't know that. But he will smile and he will say, indeed. Now then. So wonderful. But I don't mean to take up any more of your time than I must.
Yeah. Well, Lord Aishar, it was certainly a pleasure to meet you this evening.
I'm curious, my dear. What is it that you, if anything, wish from the auction?
What does Massaria want from the auction? Has she told her child what she wants from the auction?
No, she hasn't said yet.
She ponders for a moment. But there are several items that interest me, my lord. specifically a certain compass or key.
Very well. I feel as though I must give a gift to Miss Swanborough.
For what reason, my lord? You don't owe me anything.
I don't. However, you are new. Consider this your welcoming to our society. Hey, Macaria, get worried.
I mean, I am. I'm looking at both of them quite intently.
Well, I do appreciate the hospitable gift that you intend to bestow upon me. It's not very often that I received gifts from such an illustrious figure as such as yourself, my lord.
Luceria's eyes flatten somewhat.
Very well. How wonderful. You recall I said that I was offering a dozen particular items for the auction, or have you been told?
Callum.
Oh, I thought he was talking to Masaria.
No, talking to you.
Oh, no, I was not aware of this.
Wonderful. I'll let your mother fill you in on the details, but I will give you the wrapping paper that the items came in. They are perfectly pliable, will do anything you tell them to. Will walk into the sea and breathe deeply should you want them to. I'll have them delivered this night. Good day, Lady Swanborough.
Good evening,
Fellas.
Lord Aisha.
Lord Aishar turns and sweeps from the room, followed by his attendant.
I don't like this. I'm not sure I want Rosemary to receive his gift.
Why did you accept it then?
But yes, the doors will then close behind Aishar with authority.
Because it would be not.
By the way, John, when you look into your pocket, you will see that there is a letter there.
Ah, crap. I was hoping so much that I got unnoticed through the whole scene. I just sat there and didn't say anything. I didn't move. I just sat there like he's going to say something to me. What does the letter say?
It says, and I quote, that your instructions have been left aboard in your cabin aboard ship. I will see to it. I would like you to make sure that they are done in a prompt and effective manner.
All right, if you want to just message me what that is,
I'll message those to you. No bother at all.
Yeah, he'll go do them. He doesn't play around on that sort of stuff. That's Tremere business, and he don't screw. Like as much as he's kind of iffy on Ishar, he don't screw around. He is full blood. He is full Tremere all the way. So.
So I leave Macaria to explain what just happened because this is going to be a fun mom-daughter moment.
Wrapping paper. Well, I'm not actually sure what the wrapping paper is, but
So he's giving her the bodies the things came from.
Oh, he's just giving her a bunch of corpses?
No, they're still alive. Bishop, there's in the Dark Ages book. There's a ritual. It's a follower of Set ritual that lets you punt a soul out of a body and put it in a goat.
Okay.
A goat.
Are you following me?
Let me find this goddamn ritual real quick so I can actually understand what you're saying.
Cool.
So am I going to be getting a bunch of ghosts or something?
No. It's in Dark Ages 20. It's a bomb ritual for the followers of Set. I think it's level 3 or 4.
Do you require any assistance, John?
Oh.
Not as of yet, no.
Very well, find me if you do.
Oh,
Of course.
I don't remember wrapping paper. Oh. Oh. Masaria, Masara will simply say, I believe you are to receive the... I suppose that depends on how you define the wrapping paper of a soul.
The body?
There is simple silence.
Well, I suppose that it would have been rude to decline his gift given his current position.
There are many ways to politely decline
Perhaps these
a
wrapping,
gift.
the wrapping
Idea.
paper will come into handy at some point.
She looks at you quite cross now.
Okay, that's what level of humanity are you? I'm pretty sure that's a check.
Me?
Huh?
Me?
Yes.
6.
Yeah. Using the soulless husks of people for your own advantage. That's a breach right there.
Well, I guess it depends on whether she's going to, because I'm trying to look cross and disappointed and go, no, Mum does not approve.
I mean, she also has a coin that's got a soul in it. And perhaps we can talk to Uncle Ambrogino and have him put the soul back into this.
To be fair, we have no idea what to do with that right now.
I mean,
And it's not pertinent to discussion. That is out of character, so
uh,
back in character.
okay.
I'd be judgmental.
Can we return the gift? Would it be rude to return the gift?
Yes.
What do we do instead? Because someone as intimidating as Lord Aishar is, I don't believe that he takes no for an answer.
You are assuming things, which is particularly dangerous as one of kind malkavian.
She takes a heavy sigh.
There is little you can do with them now. If you wish to use them for your own advantage, then you may, but I would not recommend it. I would consider it tasteless.
Sorry, as somebody says the word tasteless, you hear from the other side of the room through the double doors. They don't open with authority this time. No. They creak open as an entity enters, and all you hear is, "Hey, everybody!"
What? And Rosemary looks very startled.
Who's that?
Can we help you?
Well, I mean, I hope you can. Otherwise, I should just fuck off, shouldn't I?
Can anyone hear me? Oh, there you go.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Mother, do you know who this individual is?
Ambrogino, good to see you. We were just talking about bodies that were alive yet dead. Curious timing.
Fascinating state of affairs. What did you agree?
My child had accepted the wrapping paper of a soul.
Would you like me to give you a demonstration?
Perhaps not here?
Yes, that's a good idea.
Perhaps not. But we were discussing the dichotomy of them, as it seems unlikely the souls will ever be returned to them, as they're currently in the possession of Lord Aisha.
Oh, that blonde fuckwit. Or that bald fuckwit.
As you say.
Oh, pleasure to meet you. Ambrogino Giovanni, Gran Giovanni.
Rosemary will curtsy to him. Rosemary Swanborough, sir. Clan Malkavian.
I came here because I was led to understand from darling Mr. Hennessy you had a problem that you needed my help with.
Um, I'm sorry. Could you please elaborate?
Something about coins.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
So,
yes.
Mary is going to reach into her cleavage and pull out the coin.
Masara will reveal hers as well.
Wait, you keep a soul in your breasts.
Let me ask you, if you had breasts, you would hide things there
Is that
too.
not where most people's souls are?
I mean,
I like this one. I'll stand over here.
that is also accurate. If you had breasts, would you not hide things in them as well? To
This is true.
keep people from stealing things. It's a good place to keep money, I found.
But yes, these are indeed soul style. Very rare, very valuable. What do you want? What do you want for them?
I am unsure of their worth.
John's just watching them both carefully.
I am.
Masara contemplates, obviously, exchanging souls as a commodity is morally questionable at best. At the same time, there's literally nothing she can do with them. So
Rosemary is actually going to whisper in Masaria's ear. If you give me yours, I can bid on something at the auction.
Your child's rather cutthroat. I like her.
That is the world that we live in, unfortunately.
She considers there's a few things she could ask for. She could ask for a boon. She could ask for currency.
John's just watching to see if you regift his gift he gave you.
Oh yeah. Oh man, yeah, that's real right there. Christmas is a while ago, okay? Like we have to get rid of this, like what came out of a stocking. It's all.
What came out of the stocking? Thank you for phrasing it like that.
Probably a foot.
Maybe it's the foot that I found in the lake. Sorry.
I got that reference. So Rosemary is going to actually kind of look between Ambrogino and her mother, and
Hey there, Ambrogino.
she's going to look at Ambrogino and she says, "Please forgive me. I'm still being educated on the ways of our kind. What would in your opinion?"
And it's a very good opinion.
I imagine that you're very experienced in your field of work. Would, I suppose, entities such as which are being gifted to me be worth to someone of your clan?
You see, now you're asking me to come up with numbers, figures, that kind of thing. I'll be generous. Minor boon per coin from myself.
She's going to look to Masaria to see if she approves of such an arrangement.
Giovanni's a trained merchant. He said they were very rare and very valuable. She doesn't say this out loud. She's just thinking this to herself. Then again, Ambrogino is known as one of the oldest and most powerful necromancers in the world. He probably has an ample stash of soul steel.
So why would he want more?
That's a good question.
No, I'm not asking about the coins. I'm asking.
No. I'm pointing out Bishop made a point, and I was saying, why would he possibly want more if you already would have so much?
Well, I was asking about the bodies, particularly, not the coins.
Oh, we're gonna re-gift all the Tremere shit, Jesus. Yeah, why would he want more? That doesn't make much sense.
You have the ability to find out why.
I mean, I'm an Elysium friend. I actually honor the rules.
You honor the rules until you don't. Let's be fair.
Yes. Well, hey, I haven't breached the rules yet.
To be fair, I do have what is it? Rebel as a nature, so
What?
I'm
Yeah, okay.
breaking all the rules.
But
Breaking the law. Breaking the law.
I will. I will part of my coin for a major boon.
I tell you what, I'm a man who likes a good deal. How many of them do you have, huh?
I have one, and so does she.
2 coins,
In that-
2 souls.
What's the value of a soul nowadays? I tell you what, I'm a generous man. Both for a major boon.
Hmm.
You get coins, you owe me a major boon. Sounds like a fair deal.
Beautiful.
Did she yoink Rosemary's coin away from her?
Yes.
Okay.
John
Hey,
gets
Rosemary.
up. John gets up and leaves.
Ooh. You
Yes.
pissed him off, to be fair.
I wasn't going to give him my coin, thank you very much. So he better not be mad at me. Yes, Evan, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, my apologies, that, Ambrogino takes both of the coins and he flicks them around in each one of his hands before he will put them in a pouch. And he says, "Pleasure doing business with you. Oh, before I forget, I do have one small proviso on these boons, but nothing that we can't be civil about, I'm sure."
Mm-hmm.
He'll hold the coins back out as if to insinuate this is a deal breaker. He says, "I don't want them used in this fetid little auction, you understand me."
Understandable.
The boons.
Correct.
I see. You do not wish to owe the auctioneer a favor.
I remember what he did in Constantinople. I want no part of that. Drunken relatives are best relatives. Continue with life.
Very fair. From what I understand, this individual is rather specific about what they desire from people.
You could phrase it like that, yeah.
So, she does consider this. What if, hypothetically speaking, I would not use the boon to acquire currency, but what if I were to use it to, say, perhaps ask for you to aid me in bidding for an item on my behalf? Would that be fair? Or would that still be within your proviso?
Provided it does not in any way endanger or go against the interests of my clan and family, you got yourself a deal.
Hmm.
So much business this evening, a boon it is. Thank you for your business, Ambrogino.
You think nothing of it. Ambrogino is always happy to help.
About the bodies, though.
What about them?
Would you be interested? Perhaps you may have more use for them than I do.
Would I be interested in a dozen soulless husks?
Perhaps you could put souls into them and use them.
Ooh, I can make them dance. Do you want to see them dance?
Not particularly, thank you.
But what price do you put on these bodies then?
Well, they are a gift from Lord Ishar to my
Oh, that bald prick.
and they did hold close to a dozen of the items, if I'm not mistaken, that are going to be a part of the auction. So I do believe there's
Wait, hang on. When did the Tremere, those those pencil pushing, pasty face, blood stealing, poncifying, pontificating, palazione, dealing souls? That was a whole stream of insults in a single sentence.
I'm unsure. I'm
Ambrogino, really.
not a member of their clan.
No, you have some dignity.
Well, I suppose you could say that. I like to preserve the dignity and grace that I've been blessed with.
I will excuse myself, if you would, Lady Macaria. Rosemary?
Of course, Lady Lucea, it was a pleasure doing business with you.
Let me guess. They're a Tremere, aren't they?
Mary will nod.
You have my deepest, most unabided, legitimate sympathies.
And you mine. And then she'll walk out.
Does anyone here speak Italian?
Nope.
I speak Latin, but no.
I mean, that's close enough.
It's not actually, but
It's not at all.
Macaria, do you speak Italian?
Bishop is not here.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go pretty soon, so.
That's entirely fine. He just points at Lucaria as she's leaving. And I'm sorry, for the record, I'm not looking at my screen, so I will fuck up your names. And he just says, Banzininti, Baltimabote. And points towards them. That's all he does. Nothing happens.
I think I know out of character what just happened.
Were you here for Peacock Man?
Yes, I was.
Ah, Ambrosino, you scallywag.
Well, I don't know what just happened. Did I just get cursed?
No.
Oh,
I'll tell you after this. It's actually really funny.
It
Alright.
is hilarious, I must say. So yes, Rosemary is wheeling and going to try and wheel and deal with Ambrogino.
So what do you want, kid?
One of those Aztec coins.
You think I have one of those?
No, but there is one in the auction, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And Lord Ishar himself is going to be bidding for it, I do believe.
Yes. Here's a question for you. Do you know why I'm incredibly old and powerful?
Because you're clever, smart. and
No, it's because I don't pick stupid fights for no fucking reason.
The hat. You can have the wrapping paper, if you will win me the hat.
The hat.
The hat.
You don't even know what the hat does.
I mean, I like the hat. It's a pretty hat.
I can tell you what the hat does.
What does the hat do?
Well, that'll cost you.
Minor boon?
That seems most agreeable. The hat is a fetter to a very old and powerful wraith. His only fetter, as a matter of fact. So he who controls the hat controls the servant.
I would like the hat, please.
That's not for me to get you, sunshine.
What are you willing to trade for these? The wrapping paper.
The wrapping paper. Interesting. A major boon.
From one such as old and experienced as yourself, I find that to be rather acceptable.
Actually, you know what? I'm not going to offer you a minor boon. No, I'm going to sweeten the deal.
Yes, I'm listening.
I am Regino Giovanni. Oh, I even like saying my own name.
It is a very lovely name.
Will teach you any one thing that I know.
I find that to be more acceptable than a major boon.
Good! We have a deal.
And she will extend her hand to shake his. Yup. Fucking yup. She's at because she is kind of a swarthy individual. She's gonna spit blood in her hand and extend it to his to shake.
That's disgusting.
It's how people of my profession do things.
That's disgusting. Okay. He shakes the hand.
Okay.
You notice, by the way, he doesn't just shake the hand. When he's done shaking your hand, he wipes his hand clean with a handkerchief and places it in his coat.
Oh, fuck. Thanks. Fucking thanks.
Yeah, I was wondering why you did that.
Fucking thanks. Oh, well, whatever.
Is Bishop here? Because I think he's about to literally have a conniption.
I don't think he's here.
Oh, dear.
And actually, I gotta go. So, you guys can explain that to him.
I'm not explaining shit.
I saw nothing and had no part of it, so.
I love you.
Oh God, I was gonna say, if I have common sense, would common sense tell me not to do
that is way too late. But okay.
Damn it! All right.
Sorry.
I'm gonna ask him to teach me fucking necromancy.
Yeah, he'll do it. He's Abergino and is crazy.
I mean, I'm gonna be learning fucking necromancy from a Cappadocian, no less. So
he is a Cappadocian.
Awesome. I was waiting for that. All right, I'm gonna go.
What, you're waiting for my little Cappadocian song?
Yes, I was. All right, I'm gonna go. I will see
you
guys.
All right, see you later, Colin. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bishop. He's gonna be so mad. So mad. It's really funny, actually, going from a character who's a Tremere and a very ardent Tremere to being, you know what? Fuck the Tremere.
Yeah.
Ambergino's just fun to play because he's so old he doesn't give a fuck.
It's fun to have my character like be so pro Tremere and then have all these people who could like crush her in an instant insulting the Tremere. So she just has to sit there and take it.
The funny thing is with Ambrogino, because like a lot of them can use the argument of, well, we remember. It's really funny because you see a lot of clans, a lot of the older clans, and a lot of the clans who are active in this time period remember the Salubri pretty fondly. The thing is that no one gives a solid jiggery fuck about the Cappadocians, who were also murdered.
Right.
You know.
Bishop, something happened. Sadness has occurred.
What has occurred?
This is actually really, really big, and Makari is going to flip her ever-loving shit.
Okay.
So when Ambrogino made a deal with Rosemary for the bodies, and he basically said, to be fair, he made a good deal with her. He said, "I'll teach you any one thing I know." Right? But then, of her own free will and volition, I want you guys to back me up on this. He didn't prompt this. She made the point of biting her lip to produce blood and spat into her hand to do the whole kind of, shake hands with spit thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ambrogino then collected the spit and blood on a handkerchief and put it in his pocket. That's the death rattle of a sad man.
That's an aneurysm in the making.
You okay? You okay, buddy? You want a hug? You want to go play with some Legos? You like the Legos?
I might have to try and steal it from him. Fuck. Okay, this is gonna get complicated now.
I mean, how high's your obfuscate?
Hi, but he has a lot of all specs, I think.
And wraiths.
And wraiths.
Wraiths.
And wraiths. Let me find my thing, see if it's even worth trying. I didn't expect myself to have to do this scene, for fuck's sake. It's not worth trying.
His Auspex isn't actually that good.
Yeah, more easy. I can't use obfuscate here either without it being obvious.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna actually be a nice guy here. Bishop, is me accepting this, because obviously it was Colin who did the thing, is my accepting this affecting your enjoyment of the game?
No, not really. I'm just going over the various options. I could just pay him a trivial boon to get it back.
He knows the value of what he has. It's not a matter of it's not a matter of like, this is worth nothing. No. I know how much this is worth.
Yeah, that's true. It's a shame I was AFK. Fuck it, I'll try and steal it from him. Fuck, why not, right?
He did put it on the inside of his robe.
Oh, okay, that's problematic. I can't just go and steal it now.
It's not just in like a pocket, because obviously they don't really wear pockets on the outside nowadays. They have pouches or, other.
Okay, fuck. I don't think there's anything I can do without immediately rescinding the boon I just got from him. Which I'm not going to do, because that would be a whole waste of time.
I suppose there is a thing called a bed and letting people sleep in it.
I mean, yeah, but I have to sleep in it with the pass. Don't think there's anything I can do right now unless I'm missing something obvious.
You could just ask for it back.
Yeah, I'll ask. Actually, I will just say, would you mind not seizing my childish blood, please?
I didn't see. Are you insinuating something? I didn't seize anything. It was really given. I dislike your implication. Are you calling me a thief?
I'm saying you pocketed my childish blood. I don't believe she intended to give it to you. I think that would be a bit of a stretch, given all just occurred.
She spat it into her hand and shook mine. I cleaned my own hand. Are you saying that the man cannot clean his hands?
Then you won't mind if I take that napkin off of you in exchange for a clean one. After all, it's not particularly useful now. It's all horribly dirty.
This is a Venetian silk handkerchief.
Caked in used blood.
See?
Blood spared.
See? I don't know what you're trying to imply. I remember what it was like to be young once. How long is it since you dug your little one out of the ground, huh?
She actually considers the minutes. About 15 minutes.
What? He's asking you how long it's been since you embraced her. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh, I thought it was like how long it took to get her out of a jam. A month.
Ah, I see. You know what? Old Lamborghino's not without heart. Fine. He throws back the handkerchief towards you, but he'll say, if you're not careful, that young one is going to be the death of you.
She looks to Lucea and says, trust me, I'm becoming rapidly more aware by the night.
I think this is a good place to end our session.
Thank you, Preston.
Agreed.
Thank you, watchers, for watching. See you all next time.